Welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. I want to take a look again at this Patrick Byrne, the CEO, former CEO of Overstock. As you know, he came out in the news last week talking to the media and claiming some pretty wild things, and saying he was in on the Russia collusion thing, and he says basically everything you know about the Russia hoax was a lie. The Russia collusion was a lie, and he had some just really outlandish stuff. I wanted to take a look at what he was saying, but also to get a feel for him as a person, whether or not he's telling the truth. And I laid out a spread just to kind of get a feel for this, and got some kind of weird results. So I thought, okay, I wrote that all down, and I did another spread, tweaked the questions just a little bit. And I'm not sure what this is. I'm going to get into this, but there's something going on with this. It may not be what we think it is or what we see in the news. This whole thing is so convoluted and twisted. This whole investigation in Russia and everything. And I'm trying to decipher, is he trying to help piece this puzzle together, or is he a distraction? So the first reading I did, I wanted to kind of see who is he at his core, what kind of person is he. I got the Four of Wands reversed. Four of Wands is like a positive card. As a reversal, it kind of gave me a feeling of, I'm not sure that he's. It just gave me a little pause with that. Let me keep going and I'll tie this together. Next was, what is his motivation for coming forward? And he had the Two of Pentacles. To me, that's a card of like indecision, or having to choose, make a decision. I felt like it was kind of a hard decision, kind of a tough decision at first. The next was, is he telling the truth? And I got the Emperor reversed. Now that's kind of a harsh card to have on that question. Is he telling the truth? It can mean yes, it can, but the reversal made me wonder if there's a piece of it that's, anyway, that gave me pause. I kept going with this. The next one was the hidden. What don't we know about him or his story? And I got the Tower. So that's another major arcana. And the Tower, the card of, calamity, things falling apart. And that's the hidden, what we don't know about this, about what's happening with this. That tells me that there's something really big going on behind the scenes that we're not aware of. Okay. Next was, what will happen overall as a result of his statements? And I got the Six of Swords. That's a kind of a card like you're just moving on from something, or a redirection, or it's kind of like peace or calm after a storm and moving forward. Thought, okay. Then it was like, what else do we need to know? And I got the Strength card. Now, the interesting thing about the Strength card in this deck, and I shuffled it back in, I don't have it with me, but the interesting thing to know about that card in this deck is it has a picture of a person standing, and they've got their hand on a pillar, and they're pushing, and the pillar's about to fall over. It's starting to topple, kind of like Samson in the Bible is pushing on the pillars and the walls fall down. And that was on what else do we need to know? The strength of pushing something over, causing something to fall. The outcome for him, I got the Hermit, going back into seclusion, that inner work. I thought maybe he's going to be going back into hiding and into seclusion somewhere. So I thought, okay, this is the picture that this painted for me was strange. So I did another spread, asked some of the same questions, tweaked some other questions. So this is the continuation of that. On that question of, is he telling the truth? I asked that straight up. the beginning. I got the Eight of Wands. Now this card, Eight of Wands, this is a card of things happening quickly, movement. As an upright, I would say yes. But with that same question in the other spread, with that Emperor reversed, it gave me some caution. So I'm wondering if there's mostly truth, but there's something funky with that reversed Emperor that gives me, there's something weird about it, okay? What is his primary motivation for coming forward? Now we had the Two of Pentacles before. This time we've got the Seven of Cups. This is a card of like overwhelmed, being like there's too much going on. I'm overwhelmed. There's chaos, and that's the feeling with that card. So it makes me feel like the primary motivation is wanting to cut down the confusion, make sense of the confusion. And that ties into the next card. What is the goal, purpose of his statements coming forward? What was the goal? Why? Now I got the Queen of Swords. Now initially this is a card of, taking a stand, being strong. It's a strong-willed card. But I got to looking at the artwork on that and just kind of feeling, okay, what was the goal of this? And as you can see with this, I'll show it to you again. I got this image with this woman of like, she's got her foot, like she's taking a stand. And she's got this nice big plant behind her. But behind that looks like this avalanche moving in. Or this big cloud of dust, or some commotion, or something calamitous coming in. And this is like getting ahead of it. And so I wonder if the purpose is to get ahead of what's coming, to get ahead of the narrative, to pull ahead to, with that other card, that motivation of cut down the confusion and get ahead of the story. Tell your story and get ahead and like plant your foot down. This is what the truth is according to him, okay? Before the stuff hits the fan, before this wall of commotion and stuff comes through. Next card was, this was interesting. Is he an honorable person? Is he trustworthy? Now, Five of Pentacles, this is a card of risk. Be careful. So I would say be careful in trusting this person. He may be telling the truth, but that doesn't mean that what he's saying is exactly, that there's something going on with why, okay? This whole thing of getting ahead of the narrative. The Five of Pentacles is like, don't risk it, don't trust. So I don't think he's completely trustworthy, okay? All right, next question was, is there something hidden that we need to know? And I got the Five of Wands. As you can tell with the artwork, this is a card of struggle. Can represent people fighting, people struggling. The sense I got with this card as I'm looking at it is the people who are fighting, I didn't get the sense that they're fighting each other. They're united in their fight against someone or something. Take a look at this artwork again. This is where I got drawn into this. These, whoops, dropped my card. Hold on just a second. Okay. These people, all these different hands, they've all got their sticks, they're fighting, okay? And this big tree behind here, they're fighting in united. They're united in their fight against something that they're fighting against. And this is behind the scenes. This is something hidden that we need to know. I've got some thoughts on that, but I wonder if this is like this whole thing that started this Russia collusion and all of this stuff has been going on for the last 3 years, and it's all been seemingly to be aimed at taking down the president. By any means necessary. Get rid of Donald Trump. That's what they've all been up to, in my opinion. That's what it's all been about. How do we get rid of him? You know, impeach, do this, do that, try to get rid of him this way, that way. And I'm wondering if this is part of that. These people fighting against this bigger thing, that they're united in their fight. Next question, what will happen at the DOJ as a result of Mr. Byrne's statements? Now, we have a page, a messenger. This page with his staff, and he's looking out at the sunset or sunrise, either one. But he's looking out, and it's like you're waiting for something to, like the sun to rise. You're waiting for something to come in, waiting for some news, waiting for something to come about. I also get the sense of seeing something through to its conclusion or fulfillment. It's almost like there's a message coming about wrapping this up, seeing something through to its conclusion. And I think that these statements that he's made are part of this wrapping things up, coming to a conclusion. The outcome for Mr. Byrne, he had the 9 of Cups. That's basically getting your wishes granted. So whether he was put up to this, or it's like there's something in it for him, and you're getting your wish granted. Getting something that is beneficial for him, or something that benefits him. Underneath, on the first reading underneath, we had the Hanged Man reversed. And that's kind of like elusive. This is the Knight of Wands reversed. Show it to you upright. Came in reversed. This Knight of Creative Energy reversed is like delays, frustration. It's like you're getting nowhere. Anger at obstacles. And this is flavoring underneath all of this. Like we're getting nowhere. And that Knight facing back to that Page of Wands, bringing something to a close, makes me wonder if this is like trying to get this wrapped up and done and over with. Bringing it all to a close. Somehow it's favorable. All of this is favorable to Mr. Byrne, so I don't know what he's getting out of it. You know, initially it's like, oh my gosh, what you're saying, you're naming names and, you know, you're putting your life at risk. But I don't sense from the outcome for him that he's in any type of danger. I don't sense that. He may go into hiding. But I don't sense that he's, you know, in any imminent danger. So, overall, I don't know what to make of all of this, really. I mean, there's pieces of it. The story is painted a little different than even I thought it would. It went in a direction I wondered. I thought, well, maybe he's telling the truth, and he might be again. He might be on pieces of it. But there's something about trying to steer this narrative and getting ahead of what's coming. And we'll have to see when the IG report comes out and when things get declassified, if all of that comes out as we're anticipating, how will this, what Mr. Byrne has said and done, flavor that? Like, if we didn't know anything of what he said in looking at the IG, would it be different than with what he says blended with it? And maybe that's the piece, because there's something about why he came forward that's meant to get ahead of this story. So keep that in mind when all of this comes out. Look at it with what he says and look at it without what he said and see if the two are different, and in what way are they different, if they are. That might be kind of the test to see, that might help explain what this was and why he came out with what he said. I think that's all I've got for this reading. I appreciate you stopping by. We'll see how this ends up and what happens with this. It's just strange, to say the least. I got a weird kind of vibe with it. It didn't, the answers weren't like what I thought. You know, I thought, yeah, he's telling the truth, or no. And then I get these kind of ambiguousness. Ambiguousness, is that a word? Ambiguity. All right. Okay, thanks everyone. We'll catch you next time. This is Intuitive Edge. Bye for now.